Hands up, they work into turn number 3. The lights are out. Holtkamp, True Love, Leal, Cordray, that's your first 2 rows, and we're green off of turn number 4. We are late model racing at I-35 Speedway, and it's a big jump from Cody Holtkamp. He leads the field into turn number 1. Through 2, Tommy Cordray will take second. The big movers, Todd McCoyne, started 6th, already looking for 3rd, trying to find a way to 2nd, as Tommy Cordray will take that 2nd position, but lap number 1 to the 23 of Cody Holtkamp. Cordray working the bottom, Holtkamp up top as True Love battles back, takes that 3rd position. McCoyne 4th, Matthew Lance 5th, Colton Leal 6th, Finnewald 7th, Tucker Cox 8th, Michael Leal 9th, and then comes Schlotz in that 10th position, but it's still Cody Holtkamp out front as Tommy Cordray right there with him, Greg Truelove and Todd McCoyne, your top 4. And those 4 driving away a little bit from the 12X of Matthew Lance. Johnny Finnewald now able to work to the inside of the 13 JR of Colton Leal. He'll take that 6th position away as we are now 3 laps in, 17 to go. Cody Holtkamp, he gets loose on the entry to turns 1 and 2. That'll open the door for the 5 of Tommy Cordray. Cordray to the inside. He'll look that way as we've got 1 around in the middle of 1 and 2. That's the 21 of Johnny Finnewald, and that's a caution Cody Holtkamp wanted to see as he now can restart out front and have to...
3-year-old leader. Race starts at the cone, guys. Race starts at the cone.
23 of Cody Holtkamp slows the pace a little bit over there in turn number 4, and the green will come out. Holtkamp leads as Cordray is going to have to deal with True Love, and that allows Cody Holtkamp to get a couple car lengths on Cordray off of turn number 2. Cordray will clear the 47. No, he won't clear the 47 of True Love. True Love works back to the outside for 2nd. True Love goes up to the cushion. Cordray works the bottom down by the tires. This time, Cordray clears for 2nd, and Holtkamp continues to lead. Lap 1 of the restart, lap 4 of the race. True Love 2nd. Now Matthew Lance. He works to the outside of McCoyne for that 4th position. Lance can work the top side. McCoyne will work the bottom. As the 749 of Kyle Schlotz around on the back straightaway. He'll get that car refired. We will stay green out on the speedway. Looks as though he's off pace, as that will bring out the caution, as the 12 of Matthew Lance has to go high to avoid the 21 of Finnewald as well. So that will bring out the caution for the 749.
All E-Box cleared. Thank you.
Off of turn number 4. Your field is back to green again. It's Cody Holtkamp that'll jump out to a couple car length lead on the restart. Tommy Cordray this time clears for 2nd off of turn number 2. True Love for 3rd, and the battles for 4th between Todd McCoyne and Matthew Lance. Off of 4, lap 1 of the restart, lap 6 of the race goes to Cody Holtkamp. So it's Holtkamp, Cordray, True Love, McCoyne, Lance, Finnewald, and Cox, your top 7 out on the racetrack. As Greg Truelove and Todd McCoyne both up next to the cushion, and a big run for Truelove. He'll try to work to the outside of Tommy Cordray. Looks like Truelove may have found something up at the top side of the racetrack. Truelove works the top side. Cordray closes on Holtkamp as your top 3 are now all over each other into turn number 4. As off of 4, it's still Holtkamp, but Cordray's looking for the lead, and Truelove is right there as well. Into turn number 1, Holtkamp and Cordray to the bottom, Truelove to the top. Holtkamp slides up, and that allows Cordray to get through. Your new leader into turn number 3. He's the 5 of Tommy Cordray. Greg Truelove works the top side. He'll bounce off the cushion as Cody Holtkamp and Cordray make contact. And now Truelove, he takes that lap. Your new leader is the 47 of Greg Truelove. As Cody Holtkamp, the handling on that race car looks to have faded quickly as Todd McCoyne moves to 3rd, Johnny Finnewald to 4th. But Greg Truelove, he has found something at the top of the racetrack. He leads lap number 10. 10 more laps to go for ULMA late models, and it right now is all about the 47 of Greg Truelove. Truelove starting to drive away with this one. Tommy Cordray, he's falling back into the clutches of the 7X of Todd McCoyne. Johnny Finnewald there as well. Holtkamp back to 5th. Tucker Cox 6th. Matthew Lance 7th. Colton Leal 8th. Michael Leal 9th is now the 749 of Kyle Schlotz around off of turn number 2, and that'll bring out another caution here at I-35 Speedway. turn number 4. The race is back on, and it's the 47 of Greg Truelove. He will lead the field into turn number 1. The 5 of Tommy Cordray. He's going to try to find some more life in that race car. He'll get a drive off of turn number 2, but the outside momentum works for the 47. Those two have driven away from the 7 of McCoy and the 21 of Finnewald. Finnewald, he looks to the inside. He'll drive up, and he will slide up in front of the 7X of McCoy to move the 21 of Johnny Finnewald into third. Greg Truelove doesn't seem to quite have the speed he had before that restart. Tommy Cordray may have found a little something in that 5 machine. He's working the bottom. As now Greg Truelove, he gets a little bit loose. Cordray works to the top as the 13 JR of Colton Leal. He's off the pace over there in turn number 2, and that'll bring out another caution at I-35 Speedway. Turn number 4, it's Greg Truelove that leads the field to green. Everyone ready for that one. Everyone works into turn number 1. Truelove goes right back to the top. Cordray in the middle. Finnewald on the bottom. Finnewald a little bit tight off of turn number 2. And Greg Truelove, he gets about 3-4 car lengths down the back straightaway. Truelove up next to the cushion. That's now where Tommy Cordray is going to look, and Finnewald's going to work the bottom. Lap number 1 of the restart. Lap 14 of the race will go to the 47 of Greg Truelove. Todd McCoy still runs 4th. Cody Holtkamp 5th. Best battle on the racetrack is for that 2nd position is now Johnny Finnewald. Drives to the inside. He will slide up in front of the 5 of Tommy Cordray. Cordray tries to pull the crossover, but it's Johnny Finnewald now into that 2nd position and can look to chase down the 47 of Greg Truelove. As into turn number 3 and 4, it's still the 47 of Greg Truelove. 4 more laps for him. 4 laps to go for the 47 of Greg Truelove. Finnewald in 2nd, Cordray in 3rd, McCoy in 4th. Johnny Finnewald was your 2018 track champion at Lucas Oil Speedway. He comes to I-35 Speedway and looking for another feature win to pad his points in the ULMA standings. He has now closed the gap to the 47 of Truelove. The 12X of Matthew Lance is going to call to races. A big slider thrown by the 21 of Johnny Finnewald, and him and the 47 of Greg Truelove get together. Truelove stopped on the front straightaway as Tommy Cordray able to sneak by, but big contact between the 21 of Johnny Finnewald and the 47 of Greg Truelove. And we're going to go red out on the speedway.
I didn't see what happened. I thought Parker had up.
And it's Tommy Cordray that leads the field to green. Was 3rd before the incident between Finnewald and Truelove. As now Todd McCoy, he looks to the inside. He has a great 1 and 2. He will take the lead off of turn number 2. Cordray will work back to the outside. McCoy's going to work the bottom of the racetrack. Cordray is going to work the top. We're going to have 2 to go as Cody Holtkamp is around in the middle of 3 and 4. He'll collect Michael Leal, and that'll bring out another caution here at I-35 Speedway. McCoy runs 2nd. Tucker Cox in 3rd. The green is out, and it's a better restart this time for the 5 of Tommy Cordray. McCoy not going to be able to work to his inside. Cordray will now work the bottom. He saw that may be the better line. It looks as Michael Leal is struggling with that spoiler flapping in the wind back there in that 4th position. But off of turn number 4, Tommy Cordray inherited the lead back on lap 17, and now he gets the white flag here at I-35 Speedway. Cordray works the bottom. McCoy trying to find something at the top line, but nothing up there right now. Is into turn number 3. Tommy Cordray works the top side of the racetrack, and off of turn number 4, he will pick up your ULMA late model feature. That's the 5 of Tommy Cordray. 2nd will go to the 7X of Todd McCoy. 3rd with the 1X of Tucker Cox. 4th, the 23 of Cody Holtkamp. And then will come the 12X of Matthew Lance. Try number 2 for USRA stock cars. They get back to the gas now, and we are USRA stock car racing at I-35 Speedway. Again, Wawasik is going to try to get the lead into turn number 1. He will take it. Kevin Anderson, he's going to split the 88 of Dixon with Austin O'Neill on the top side. We're 3 wide down the back straightaway. Kevin Anderson on the bottom. Dixon drives it in deep with him. As Austin O'Neill, he'll work the top side, but lap number 1 goes to the 11W of Gerald Wawasik. We're still 3 wide for 2nd, and Austin O'Neill, he'll take the run into turn number 1, and he'll take that 2nd position. Kevin Anderson, he'll take 3rd off of turn number 2, move Dixon back to 4th. Here comes Blake Peeler and that 292. Kevin Anderson trying to get the bottom of the racetrack, working down there in that 417 car. And now the 88 of Jeff Dixon will work back to his outside. He'll take that third position back from him, as it's still the 11W of Wawasek up on the top side of the racetrack. Austin O'Neill up there with him. Dixon running the cushion as well. Anderson, the first one on the bottom. Blake Peeler runs in the 5th position. Tim Eaton in 6th. Billy Hoover 7th. Heisel in 8th. Jimmy Eaton 9th. And Cletus Murray in 10th. As Austin O'Neill is working the back bumper, the 11W of Gerald Wawasek off of turn number 2. It's still Wawasek, your leader, by about a half car length. Austin O'Neill this time will work to the bottom, as now the 25 of Jimmy Dean Eaton is around over in turn number 2, and that'll bring out the caution. And we are yellow here at I-35 Speedway, 3 laps in, 12 to go for your USRA stock cars. Your third row. As the field works into turn number 3, they'll work to turn number 4. The green is going to come back out while Wawasek leads the field, as it's Austin O'Neill. He's slipping up the racetrack, and it's Wawasek that's clean into turn number 1. Dixon's going to work the bottom. Austin O'Neill's up top. As now the 417 of Kevin Anderson. He'll have to settle for 4th. Blake Peeler 5th. The 263s of Eaton and Hoover battle for 6th. As now off of turn number 4. Lap 1 of the restart. Lap 4 of the race goes to the 11W of Gerald Wawasek. As Wawasek leads, O'Neill 2nd, Dixon 3rd, Anderson 4th, Peeler 5th. The battle is for 6th between the 63 of Billy Hoover and the 63 of Tim Eaton. Tim Eaton holds that spot right now, but Hoover's looking for it off of turn 4. It's still Eaton in that 5th position. Excuse me, the 6th position for Tim Eaton. Blake Peeler holds the 5th position as your top 4 starting to drive away. Tim Eaton now, he's working to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to work his way around Blake Peeler in that 292. Peeler gets a little bit tight in the middle of 3 and 4, so move Tim Eaton into the top 5 in that 63 car. We're 6 in, 6 to go. Austin O'Neill's got that car working up on the top side of the racetrack. As we've got one around in turn number 2, that's the S20 of Christian Heisel, and that'll bring out the yellow at I-35 Speedway. Fence as we get ready to go racing again, as Jeff Dixon, he makes contact with Austin O'Neill, as Dixon is slow on this restart. That'll hurt Tim Eaton in the 63 as well as the 1 of Austin O'Neill. O'Neill's loose and move Kevin Anderson into 2nd, Blake Peeler to 3rd, as Jeff Dixon, he is off the pace on that restart. He'll have to call it a race, as off of turn 4, lap 1 of the restart, lap 7 of the race goes to the 11W of Gerald Wawasek. Kevin Anderson now runs in that 2nd position. He's got that car working, and now he's going to have an opportunity to go after the 11W of Wawasek. The 417 Anderson gives him a little bit of a tap going into turn number 3. Austin O'Neill, he's going to try to take 3rd off of turn 4. Move the 1 of Austin O'Neill back to 3rd. 4 to go now for the 11W of Wawasek. Anderson still about a car length and a half back from him. Austin O'Neill 3rd, Blake Peeler 4th, Billy Hoover runs 5th. As this time off of 4, Kevin Anderson took a look at challenging for the lead. This time he'll dive to the inside of Wawasek into turn 1, but he will slide up, bounce it off the cushion, and Wawasek will open it up by a couple car lengths down the back straightaway. Wawasek and Anderson at the cushion. Anderson, he'll dime in the corner, and we've got 2 to go that time by, and it's about a car length. Anderson, he'll continue to work the bottom, slide up, grab the cushion, and try to get the drive off. Wawasek still has a car length and a half down the back straightaway. Anderson, he'll drive it deep into turn number 3. Wawasek works off of turn number 4, and the white flag is out. One more chance around I-35 Speedway for Kevin Anderson to make something happen. He'll drive to the inside of Wawasek. He'll throw the big slider into turn number 1. Wawasek will pull the crossover. They're door-to-door off of turn number 2, and it's Anderson. That will clear Wawasek down the back straightaway as Wawasek goes up big time over in turn number 2, as the red will be thrown out on the speedway as Gerald Wawasek blows that one up in a big way.
Yeah, that's a blown motor. You should have finished the race. We'd have been done.
There's no way in hell. God damn it. Shit.
The field. Austin O'Neill was ready for that one. He'll get a good drive down into turn number 1. Anderson will block the inside, keep the slide job from happening, as now Austin O'Neill, he'll try to get the drive. He'll get to the inside quarter panel of Anderson, but Anderson drives away, gets a little bit of daylight into turn number 3. Is now the big slider from Austin O'Neill. He'll drive up and slide up in front of the 417 of Kevin Anderson. Anderson drives back to the inside as contact between those two, and there's Billy Hoover as well in that 63H car. Kevin Anderson up at the top of the racetrack. Austin O'Neill to the inside and Billy Hoover in that 63 car. Kevin Anderson, he'll drive to the bottom to try to block that move. He'll slide up top. His contact between him and the 1 of Austin O'Neill. We're going to drag Grace down the front straightaway, but your winner is the 417 of Kevin Anderson. It looks as though the 63H of Billy Hoover finishes second, the 1 of Austin O'Neill third.
I had 75 and had 292.
I did too.
Off of turn number 4, we're USRA Modified Racing again here at I-35 Speedway. Robbie Reed is your big mover here on this start, as now he'll get sideways over at turn number 1. He'll hang on to it. Everyone will stay straight. We'll stay green out on the racetrack, and it's Dennis Elliott, your early leader. Mike Striegel trying to make a move on the 21 of Ryan Middaugh. Middaugh works to the outside. He'll hang on a second, but it's Dennis Elliott with a big lead into turn number 1. Dennis Elliott works off of turn number 1. He's got about 6 car lengths over Striegel. Striegel now takes second from the 21 of Middaugh. Nathan Vaughn, he runs fourth. Derek Hicks, he's up to that 5th position looking for more. He's looking to the inside of the 12V. Nathan Vaughn, now he'll work to the outside of the 21 of Middaugh. Move that 12V up into third. Vaughn to third, Middaugh back to 4th. Here comes Derek Hicks. He looks to the inside of the 21. Is now the 2H of John Hansen's around in turn number 1, and he'll bring around the 33C of Cole Moore with him. As off of turn number 4, Dennis Elliott will lead the field back to green. Mike Striegel right there with him. Striegel will battle into turn number 1 with the 29 of Elliott. Elliott drives to the bottom of the racetrack, tries to guard that inside line. Striegel will run right next to the tires, and he'll run down the back straightaway with him, but it's the 29 of Dennis Elliott, your leader, into turn number 3. Striegel will drive up to the cushion. Elliott will stay down on the bottom of lap 1 of the restart. Lap 1 of the restart. Lap 3 of the race goes to the 29 of Dennis Elliott. It's Elliott, Striegel, Vaughn, Hicks, and Middaugh, as Hicks was able to work around for that 4th position, as the top 5 have run away, and it's a little bit of a mess back there for 6th on back. Darren Shaw, Sam Florence battle for that. Robbie Reed, Houston Johnson, Manley, Lamar, Austin Johnson all back there as well. As Houston Johnson, he's got that car working for him. He's able to work around the 42 of Sam Florence. He'll take that 7th position away from him. As your leader, still the 29 of Dennis Elliott. He's driving away with this one. As he works into turn number 1, he'll slide back up, starting to work the middle, not going all the way to the cushion. Behind him, Striegel, and then Nathan Vaughn in that 12 car is putting together a solid showing. Behind him, the 78 of Derek Hicks, who has missed him the last several races here at I-35. He's back. He's in 4th. And then Ryan Middaugh on 5th. Austin Johnson, he's over the berm over there in turn number 4. And that'll bring out the caution at I-35 Speedway. The field, he likes to start over in turn number 3. That's where he'll restart the race. Striegel again ready for it. He'll be right on his back bumper into turn number 1. Again, Elliott will protect the bottom line into turn number 1, but Striegel, he'll make it through 1 and 2 really well. He'll try to get the drive off of 2, not able to get to the inside quarter panel of Dennis Elliott. Elliott will lead into turn number 3. Vaughn still runs third up at the top side, but lap 1 of the restart, lap 7 of the race goes to the 29 of Dennis Elliott. Elliott, you're used to seeing him down on the bottom. He's really running the middle of the racetrack right now. Striegel, he's all the way down on the bottom. Nathan Vaughn, he is up at the top of the racetrack. As now here comes the 11 of Darren Shaw. He was quiet early, and he's got that car rolling up top. Move him into the 4th position. Shaw on a hair up at the top side of the racetrack right now. He might be bringing the 97 of Houston Johnson along with him. He battles with Derek Hicks. Hicks on the bottom. Darren Shaw up next to the cushion up top. This time by move that 11 of Darren Shaw into 4th. The 29 of Dennis Elliott, he still leads. Striegel 2nd, Vaughn 3rd, Shaw 4th, Hicks 5th, Houston Johnson in 6th, Robbie Reed 7th, Ryan Middaugh in 8th. And we got yellow out on the speedway. We got one around in turn number 2. Looks as though the 42 of Sam Florence was one of them involved, as well as the 5 car of Kevin McGinnis. Around the green, will wait a little bit longer. This time he'll start it in the middle of 3 and 4, and this time he'll get a better launch. He'll get a couple car lengths on Striegel into turn number 1. Elliott slides to the top. Striegel's going to try to get a good run off of turn number 2. Slides a little bit on exit, and that allows Elliott to work away. And Elliott off of turn number 4. Striegel gets another good run, but lap 1 of the restart, lap 10 of the race will go to Dennis Elliott. We are halfway in 10 to go, and Cole Moore, he's around in 1 in the middle of 3 and 4. He keeps that car fired. We will stay green out on the racetrack. Mike Striegel, he is still all over the 29 of Dennis Elliott. Nathan Vaughn holds 3rd. Derek Hicks, he's working back to the bottom. He looks back to the inside of the 11 of Darren Shaw. Move Hicks back into that 4th position. Robbie Reed, he takes over 6th. As battles all over the racetrack right now, a multi-groove racetrack at I-35 Speedway. Move Hicks back to 4th. He clears Shaw. Robbie Reed will clear the 97 as Cole Moore around again in turn number 4, and that'll bring out another caution here at I-35 Speedway. As Dennis Elliott will start in the middle of 3 and 4, we're back to modified racing at I-35 Speedway. Elliott leads, Striegel 2nd, Vaughn 3rd, Hicks 4th, Shaw in 5th. That's how they'll all drive into turn number 1. This time, Mike Striegel, he'll get the drive through 1 and 2. He's door to door with Dennis Elliott. You've got a battle for the lead into turn number 3. Elliott tries to pinch the 17 of Striegel down, and it will work as of now. Your leader still the 29 of Dennis Elliott. Nathan Vaughn, he's going to throw himself in the battle now into turn number 1. Dennis Elliott up at the cushion. Mike Striegel on the bottom. Vaughn slips up off a 2, and it's now a 2-horse race into turn number 3. Striegel and Elliott 1-2. Elliott will continue to lead off of turn number 4. We're going to be 13 and 7 to go. Dennis Elliott, he's up against the cushion. That's not where you're used to seeing that 29 car. He likes to run the bottom of the racetrack. That's where he'll try to look. In 3 and 4, he'll slide up to the cushion. Mike Striegel will have a good center of the corner, but a better exit for Elliott. He continues to lead. Nathan Vaughn still runs in that 3rd position. Derek Hicks 4th. Darren Shaw in 5th. Houston Johnson 6th. Robbie Reed, he falls back to 7th. As Darren Shaw, now he's to the outside of the 78 of Derek Hicks. Shaw will work the cushion, as it seems like the bottom of the racetrack works for a couple laps, but then after that, you got to get to the top side up against the cushion. And that's where Dennis Elliott is starting to drive away from the 17 of Mike Striegel. Striegel now about 5 car lengths behind the 29. He's still trying to work the bottom. He'll slide up to the middle of the racetrack, but now we have 16 in and 4 to go. Dennis Elliott works off of turn number 4. There's a 4M of Manly Lamar. He is around off of turn number 4, and that'll bring out another caution here at I-35 Speedway. He's probably trying to time this restart to get a run on Dennis Elliott. But Dennis Elliott looks like he's going to get a good restart, and he will lead the field back to green. Elliott leads the modifieds into turn number 1, 4 to go. As Mike Striegel tries to get a run, Nathan Vaughn up on the top side. He'll hang on to 3rd, Derek Hicks to 4th, and Darren Shaw to 5th. Your top 5 remains where they restarted into turn number 3. Dennis Elliott works off of turn number 4. He will lead lap 1 of the restart, lap 17 of the race. He's dominated this feature so far, and it doesn't look like Mike Striegel has anything for him, as Striegel now fades back about 5 car lengths. Vaughn still up against the cushion. Darren Shaw, that's where he's going to go, as well as Darren Shaw is over the cushion. He is up and over the berm. He will have that car spun and stopped over in turn number 4, and that'll bring out another caution at I-35 Speedway. Turn number 3, as Dennis Elliott will start it over in turn number 3 this time, and we are back to modified racing at I-35 Speedway. Another great restart for Dennis Elliott. He'll get a couple car lengths into turn number 1. Elliott will work the bottom. He'll keep the middle of the racetrack. Nathan Vaughn has a good corner, but he's not able to get to the outside of Mike Striegel. Striegel still trying to work the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find some grip to get to the inside of Dennis Elliott, but the white flag is now out for that 29 car of Dennis Elliott. He's led all 19. He's had to deal with 7 cautions. He's restarted this race over and over again as Mike Striegel had a good corner. He got a run on him off of turn number 2. Elliott protects on the bottom of the racetrack. Striegel will make one last attempt at it, but it'll be the 29 of Dennis Elliott picking up your USRA modified feature. Mike Striegel finishes second, Nathan Vaughn third, Derek Hicks fourth, and Robbie Reed in fifth.
17.
As that spot is being held for Bud Wilson, the missing man formation from your B modifieds. As again, 23 cars getting set to go 22 laps here at I-35 Speedway. Again, that 22 signifies Bud Wilson's car number of when he won the B modified championship last season. He ran the 22 car. He's also run the 75 car, as that was his number. But the 22 signifies his B modified championship from last season. As now the field will roll back into their 2x2. RAB modifieds. Hibner and Harris roll into turn number 3. And off of turn number 4, the Bud Wilson Memorial is underway for your USRAB modifieds. Lonnie Hibner tries to slide up in front of Harris off of turn number 2, but it's Daniel Harris that will take the lead into turn number 3. He'll go straight to the cushion up on the top side. Hibner will work the bottom, and off of turn number 4, lap 1 of the race goes to the 07 of Daniel Harris. The 3D of Jonathan Barnett pulls it to the infield. He'll call it a night. Harris leads. Hibner second. Striegel, he's in third. Doug Keller, he's to the outside of Dustin Chris for fourth. Doug Keller is going to make that position stick into turn number 3. Chris works the bottom, tries to fight back, as now we got big problems in the middle of 3 and 4 as Dana Knott is around in the 10H. That'll collect Truman Asher. He's around the 15XL of Jared Hilliard's involved, as well as the 14K of Michael King. 3. A nice steady pace from him. We'll choose where he wants to restart the race. He'll wait till about the middle of 3 and 4, and we're back to USRAB modified racing at I-35 Speedway. As Mike Striegel, he's going to try to battle to the inside of the 07 of Harris. Harris still leads. Striegel second. Lonnie Hibner, he's relegated back to that third position as Dustin Christ and Doug Keller continue to battle. We're 3 wide further back in the field as Daniel Harris leads lap 1 of the restart, lap 3 of the race. Mike Striegel still second. Lonnie Hibner, he's looking for that second position off of turn 2. He's to the inside of Striegel. They'll battle for second into turn number 3. Hibner on the bottom, Striegel up top. Doug Keller has cleared for fourth as the yellow is out on the speedway for what looks to be the 10 of Johnny McGinnis and the 14K of Michael King. As off of turn number 4, Daniel Harris will lead the field back to green, and we are racing again at I-35 Speedway. Harris leads into turn number 1. Mike Striegel, he's going to look for that position off of turn 2, but the high side momentum will go to the 07 of Harris. He'll lead. Striegel second, Hibner third, Doug Keller in fourth. 3 wide for that 6th position. Give it to the 52M of Dustin Miller. As of now, Dustin Chris still working for that position, and at the line, it's still the 07 of Harris, your leader. Doug Keller, he likes to work the bottom of the racetrack, and he's got some drive off right now. He's to the inside of the 22 car of Hibner. Doug Keller battling for that 3rd position. Hibner up top, Striegel up top as well. Doug Keller trying to find the drive. We're 3 wide off at turn number 4. A little bit of contact, but give Doug Keller 3rd into turn number 1. Keller now going to try to work after Mike Striegel. Hibner still working to the top side of the racetrack. Nick Haynes, he's worked all the way up into that 5th position. Dustin Miller 6th. Dustin Chris, he's fell back to that 7th position as Daniel Harris starting to drive away with the lead here at I-35 Speedway. Daniel Harris leads. Striegel second. Lonnie Hibner, he's going to pull a crossover on Striegel. He'll drive down into turn number 3 on the bottom. Striegel up top. Lonnie Hibner, he's stuck in no man's land right now. He's going to try to roll up. He'll slide right up in front of the 17 of Striegel, and that'll open the door for the 7 of Doug Keller. While they battle for that 3rd position, Daniel Harris has taken off and is driven away from the rest of your B modifieds. Hibner now clears for 2nd. Keller clears for 3rd. Nick Haynes, he's looking for 4th. He's going to look for 3rd under the 7 of Doug Keller's. The 52M of Dustin Miller is around, and that'll bring out a caution here at I-35 Speedway. Haynes in third, Doug Keller fourth, Mike Striegel fifth, and Daniel Harris will lead us back to green. We are back to B-modified racing at I-35 Speedway. The field stays fairly calm, rolling around the racetrack as Nick Haynes, he's got that car working on the bottom of the racetrack. He looks to the inside of the 22 of Hibner into turn number 3. He'll work the bottom. Hibner right up against the cushion. Harris there as well, but lap number 1 of the restart, lap 9 of the race goes to the 07 of Daniel Harris. Harris continues to lead. Hibner and Haynes battle for second. Doug Keller in fourth. Mike Striegel fifth. As here comes Chase Galvin. He's looking for sixth. He's to the inside of the 222 of Dustin Christ. Nick Haynes still working the bottom. He'll fall back to third. Hibner takes back that second position as Christ hangs on to the 6th position. Galvin still working the bottom as it looks like the track's starting to move away from the top side of the racetrack. Your leader, the 07 of Harris, he is still up there. He makes a small mistake over in turn number 4 that allows that gap to close a little bit, but we're halfway that time by. 11 in, 11 to go. Daniel Harris still works the top side. Hibner still second. Haynes third. Keller fourth. Striegel fifth. As now Galvin will work around the 222 of Chris. Move Galvin up into that 6th position. Chris back to 7th. Pitts and Barger in 8th as we've got 2 around in the middle of 1 and 2. That's the 69 of Cadwalder and the 91 of Eddie Schwope Jr. Daniel Harris will start it in the middle of 3 and 4, and we're back to USRAP modified racing at I-35 Speedway. A good restart for Harris. He'll lead the field into turn number 1. He's got a couple car lengths over the 22 of Hibner. Hibner runs the middle. Nick Haynes runs the bottom. Middle of the racetrack's a little bit of no man's land right now. You got to be either at the top up against the cushion or right around the tires at the bottom. That's where Nick Haynes is, and he's going to try to get the drive off of turn number 4 to take that 2nd position away. Not able to get it done, and Daniel Harris leads lap 1 of the restart, lap 12 of the race. Harris still out front. Nick Haynes and Lonnie Hibner, they continue to battle. Haynes on the bottom, Hibner up on the top shelf of the racetrack as it's Daniel Harris still your leader. Hibner still second, Haynes third, Doug Keller fourth, and Striegel runs fifth. Dustin Christ, he's worked back around the 0 of Chase Galvin for that 6th position. Pitts and Barger, he runs 8th, and we're 3 wide for the 9th position. Jake Richards and Cameron Grindstaff might have made a little bit of contact back there. As now the 15XL of Jared Hilliard. He's off the berm over in turn number 2. He's able to keep it fired. We stay green out on the speedway. Daniel Harris, we're 14 in, 8 to go now for your B-modifieds. As Haynes and Hibner continue to battle, that's allowing Daniel Harris to work over the racetrack as the 73 of Truman Asher was off the berm. He's back on the racetrack. We stay green. Daniel Harris putting together a stellar run so far. He's got about 8 car lengths on Hibner. Hibner finally clears the 9H of Nick Haynes and can put his sights on Daniel Harris. Doug Keller still runs 4th, Mike Striegel 5th. As now Nick Haynes, he's really good off of turn number 4. He's back to the inside as Jared Hilliard goes around in front of your leaders. Your leader's able to avoid, but we'll throw the yellow here on lap 16. As we've got 6 to go, and another restart will be coming for the 07 of Daniel Harris. A set by him, and off of turn number 4, we're back to USRAB modified racing at I-35 Speedway. A good restart from Harris. He'll get a car length and a half into turn number 1. Hibner goes right to the top side of the racetrack. Doug Keller, he'll get a run off of turn number 2. He'll slip up a little bit, but he sticks to the outside of the 9H of Nick Haynes. Haynes now is going to be battling with Keller as Daniel Harris. It's a little bit high off of turn number 4, but he'll lead lap number 1 of the restart, lap 17 of the race. Back further in the pack, Dustin Christ, as now Lonnie Hibner is up and over the berm in turn number 2, as Dustin Miller will get collected in that one as well, and that'll bring out the caution out for the 22L and 52 over there in 3. He gets to restart this race. He'll restart it now. We're back to USRAB modified racing at I-35 Speedway. Harris gets another good restart, gets about a car length and a half. He'll protect a little bit to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll work to the top side as Nick Haynes gets the drive off of turn number 2. You're not able to get the run down the back straightaway again. Daniel Harris will protect the inside. Nick Haynes now goes around in the middle of 3 and 4. Your 2nd place competitor keeps it fired. As now the yellow will come out on the racetrack as we get another lap in the book. It's 18 laps in, 4 to go. And Daniel Harris is still your leader, but we lose our 2nd place competitor as Nick Haynes loops it in 3 and 4. As Daniel Harris will lead the field back to green. We're back to USRAB Modified Racing at I-35 Speedway. Four more circuits. Daniel Harris, a great restart on this one. He'll go to the top side. He slips up. He gets loose. Doug Keller unable to make a move off of that, and Daniel Harris drives away about 3 car lengths into turn number 3. Mike Striegel works the bottom. Doug Keller up top. Daniel Harris up top. Harris leads lap 1 of the restart, lap 19 of the race. 3 to go now for Daniel Harris. Doug Keller there is whereas Doug Keller makes a small mistake. He'll lose that 2nd position to Mike Striegel, and here comes Chase Galvin. He is up into that 4th position now. Jeremy Pitzenbarger and Dustin Chris battle for a top 5, and this time by it's 2 to go for the 07 of Daniel Harris. Harris leads into turn number 1. Doug Keller back into 2nd. He's going to have to make a quick charge if he wants this win. Daniel Harris into turn number 3. Doug Keller, he'll drive it in deep. He'll bounce it off the cushion. He'll drive down to the bottom, but the white flag is out for the 07 of Daniel Harris. Harris works into turn number 1 for the final time. He'll work off a turn number 2. Doug Keller too far back at this point. Daniel Harris into turn number 3. Doug Keller going to make one more attempt on the top side, but he's too far away. And your winner of the Bud Wilson Memorial will be the 07 of Daniel Harris. Second's the 7 of Doug Keller. Third will be the 17X of Mike Striegel. Fourth, the 0 of Chase Galvin. And rounding out your top 5s, the 32P of Jeremy Pitzenbarger. But let's give a big congratulations to the 07 of Daniel Harris. Put together 22 perfect laps. Managed to deal with 7 cautions in the race. But your winner tonight's the 07 of Daniel Harris.